Hey there, it's Raven Scry, and it has been quite some time since I've put out a video, but today I just feel the resonance of a time to share and a time to give some readings, because I feel as though Spirit's sort of stripping me back into really connecting into messages and readings at the moment. So that's the nature of what I'm going to offer. So I'm going to offer a more general message from Spirit, perhaps an insight, and then I'm going to move across into some more private messages where, I'll just be directly speaking to different people, different situations that need to be spoken to, connected to, some sort of insight to come through. So I'm going to offer that, and then I'm going to move over to my Patreon community, which has got a bunch of awesome people over there. We've been doing all sorts of different things. Giving each other readings is one of them, which is kind of cool and fun, exploring everyone's gifts. And of course, we've been doing some crypto stuff. As you guys know, crypto has been a crazy ride and pretty ugly this week. But I've kind of stepped back from being too entrenched. I am doing my monthly reads and connecting in to certain things within crypto, but just not as intense as I have done it in the past. So getting back to what I was saying, I'll be moving over to Patreon and doing some more private messages there for the community. So if you feel to, please come over and join us. You're more than welcome. All right, so I'm just going to connect in with Spirit. It just feels like it's been such a long time, like connecting into Spirit, connecting in to the divine, this whole journey of connection, on multiple levels. It's like, I feel as though it's a moment to kind of reflect on everything. And I want to say it's almost like there's a moment to pause and be grateful for how far we've come and how far, we've grown, and the lessons that we've all gone through, which has been quite difficult for many of us. Now, I'm feeling pulled into speak to situations that are not being moved beyond. And it's like, in the way they show it to me, it's like dragging behind you something that is timely, and it's time to let go of this particular thing, whatever it may be, but you're still carrying it. And Spirit wants to impress upon me that, it might be scary to make that change. It might be a big jump to shift into a new way, because essentially they're asking you to shift into a new way of being, and certain things that have held you up, or that perhaps you've clung on to as some sort of security net, some sort of safety net, are being outgrown, outlived. But you're growing in areas. It's like you're growing beyond certain points, but you've still got this thing here with you. And I want to say, there's more pressure on the idea of letting it go than actually if you were to let it go, if you know what I'm saying. It's like you'll be relieved. There'll be a weight that shifts, leaving this weight behind and moving forward. It's like there's a surrender and a release that needs to take place. And it's very important at this time. It's very timely, and it's been going on for some time, I want to say. I feel as though this could be over several years. And whatever this is, however this speaks to you, it's like several years of having this here with you, having this here as some sort of safety, clinging on to this safety. But it's actually not keeping you feeling safe. You have an idea that it does, but it's actually not doing that. So it's time to reassess where you're at, and time to trust in the next level, time to trust in the divine, time to trust that the next step you take, you'll be supported, because you certainly will be supported. But there is a shifting going on, and You can either fight with this kind of, oh no, I've got to hang on to it, I've got to hold it, I've got to, stay here in this place. No, I can't, I shouldn't stay in a fear place. Or you can actually just surrender. And in that moment of surrender, it might be very scary in that moment, but the sense of relief that you're going to get is just going to be profound and is extremely needed. So, I hope that it's reached where it's meant to reach. I'm sure it has. I feel as though this message is really important for so many of you. I can also take this message, as we move and evolve through our stories. It feels very, very important at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for that message, and I'm going to move along. I looked up at a 555 as I said that. I'm going to move along now and just ask Spirit to come close and to give me some more private messages for you all. And if something certainly resonates with you, it is for you. And often messages that aren't necessarily even for you, in the way that perhaps they come through, there's certain learnings and understandings that can be, taken from the fact that you're here listening in this moment. So it's like some sort of exchange here, some sort of, messages that you'll get. They'll either be directly speaking to you or they'll come through in different ways. But just be open to receive whatever's going to flow in your direction. Now, as I said that, straight away I connected to this dragon. And it's interesting because it's a green dragon they're showing me. Now, in the way that the dragon comes through, this could be something that you know of, the dragon, that connects you to the reading. But it also could be, something we're speaking of, something Spirit's going to sort of further talk about. So just to keep an open mind. So we have this dragon that they've connected me to, and I feel as though there's someone holding this dragon. And I want to say, in the way that they show it, it's like a little person clinging on to this dragon. And it takes me to the feeling, of someone very young holding, but it's like holding on and almost like blocking out everything around, because it's there's a deep love for this dragon, but there's also, there's a tight grip and hold. There's a safety net here with this dragon. Now I feel as though this could be somebody that you know, or some child that you know, or actually you as a young person. Someone can certainly relate to this scene, but there's just this sense of holding on, and I feel as though it's bouncing off what we just spoke about. This need to sort of surrender old things, old energies we're carrying with us, but it feels like it reflects off that place as I view this I feel as though it's a young boy holding on to this green dragon. And I want to say, as he holds it, he squeezes it more and more tightly, and it's making my heart feel compressed, like I want to cry. It's like he's holding on to something really dear, and it feels like there's some sort of trauma here with the way that he's holding on. So I'm just going to move away now, just sort of get a little bit more around this, a little bit more insight, Spirit, into this situation, because I feel as though it's again mirroring what I just spoke about. Holding on tightly to safety nets that perhaps you feel you need. And there's this sense here with this, I feel as though it's a male energy. That's all he ever knew, that's the only safety he ever knew. But the need to release this safety, it's going to be okay. The message here is it's going to be all right. And it really comes into a tender place. attend a childlike place. Like, you are going to be all right. You're going to be okay. You don't have to cling on so tightly anymore. Because essentially, what they show me now is like the dragon gets taken away. And this is like a trajectory of a young person, they had their dragon, then someone comes and takes the dragon, rips the dragon out of their hands. And there's just this hole left within the heart of this person. And again, I'm speaking to someone, and I feel as though it's someone's childhood energy here, where the dragon was taken away. So it's almost like you're stuck with this clinging on tight, like clinging onto a teddy bear, but it's this dragon for safety. But yeah, really asking, is there more for this message, Spirit? It's like you're allowed to surrender the dragon this time, because they showed me it was taken away, but they put me back in that situation. It's like you've got the power to surrender at this time, in your own time, but there is a reminder that it's important, and the movement has to be made for change to take hold and for peace to be kept and retained. And, within your life, all around you, the connections and the links to your family and everyone around you needs you to move forward from this incident that they tell me about. And essentially, it's a deep place inside you. So, yeah, really, the message here: it's going to be okay. So I'm going to leave the dragon with you and move away now, and we're going to move into a message for somebody else here. Okay, a message, and I'm going to ask, someone who's really needing a message this time, needing something spoken to. And now I'm seeing a reference to a woman, brown hair, mother of two is what I hear. Mother of two. Yearning. It's like this mother of two is yearning for something, wanting, needing. It's like there's a situation that has been really difficult for you, and there's responsibility of children, but it's like it feels like you're on your own within this sense of being on your own, and there's a yearning for more. I want to say, yearning for more of life, experience more. It almost feels like it's a burden to be a parent and having to have so much responsibility here with your children. It's like this yearning. I want to say too, it moves into yearning for a male energy. Now, I want to say here, you're needing to be clearer with your energy here before you move out or open up, because it's almost like it could go both ways. Open up to a male energy. It could be not what you'd expected. It could be, I could say, volatile. It could be just a messiness. And there's an urgency. It's like Spirit wants to sort of share. There's an urgency going on for you. And there's a real depth of growth here. Although it seems as though there's, nothing's moving, and it's like you've got to be so patient, and it's almost like you're burdened is the way that they impress this. It's like you're feeling a great deal of burden, and like, what about me? Hey, I'm forgotten here. What about all the things I wanted to do? What about, there's dreams, big dreams, but you're in this situation, and there's a great deal of learning here if you can just surrender here into the experience you have in your life. And I want to say into the humbleness, because it's like you're going to bypass a great deal of drama and stress, and it's like they show me different pathways you could be walking down, and these different pathways could be just leading in all sorts of directions, but it's like they say you don't have to go those ways because you're right here. And there's a great deal of learning. What you actually need is right here. what's the lyric from the song? You can't always get what you want, but however it goes, you end up getting what you need, is essentially what they're saying, what you need for your growth. And it might seem boring, but it's stable, and there's support and heart. And they also reference this woman, I feel as though it's either a mother or a grandmother, that is very close by and supportive. And sometimes perhaps you take her for granted a little bit, but she's there, and very, very supportive with her energy. But it's almost like it goes a bit unseen in the way they show it. So yes, be patient. Don't step outside. Wait, open up the space within you, and bring in this magical world that you dream of, that you think you're missing out on, but you're actually living it. It's right there with you at this time. So embrace. All right, so I'm going to go for one more message. I feel as though I'm hearing wisdom come in here. So there's perhaps some wisdom that they want to share. It's interesting too, as I say, okay, I'm connecting with spirit. They're saying wisdom. They throw this word, and then my logical self, my human self, comes in and he's like, oh, the pressure's on. It's got to deliver some wisdom now, So I have to tell myself, okay, move aside, sit aside, and we'll just allow the process to unfold. The things that go on as a medium, as a human, really. Because we've all got our abilities. Anyway, okay, wisdom. What have you got for me? Who have you got for me, Spirit? They're talking about time, showing me a watch. Time is ticking. Someone's waiting. I'm seeing a male energy waiting. Now, I don't know if this male is in the spirit world or if it's actually who I'm speaking to. I feel as though he's more, this is more a message. This is someone who is an older male who passed, and he really had his watch, like he would always be looking at his watch and tick, the hands were ticking, he'd be tapping on his watch, time, like this was a trait of his. But in this case, he's also talking about time and talking about the need for, to push on here. He's like, come on, it's time to push on. Hurry it on up, move on up. I feel as though he's talking to a male. So I feel like he's in the spirit world. He's an older male. I feel as though he's a father or grandfatherly figure. Grandfather figure with his watch. There's a strong green with him as well. I don't know whether he wore kind of green woolen jumpers or that's how he presents. He's talking about, because I ask him, well, do you want to give me a bit more information about who you are? And he's sort of talking about some sort of scarlet woman or magenta woman or something. Like there's something about this mysterious woman, or perhaps in red or something. Perhaps that has some significance to you. But so, okay, moving back to his message, anything else, like what do you want to share here around, do we want to go directly to message? No, okay. You want to give a little bit more insight? Yes. He's talking about, you when you're younger. There's some sort of little, is it a train? It's like I'm shown as a train, but then it's larger than a train. It almost feels like something that you might ride in. It was wooden. And he's showing you that small. He's referring to him looking at you, connecting with you when you were that small, is what he says. But he's talking about there's been elements of you that haven't grown up, and that can sound really harsh, but parts of you that haven't grown up, that have gotten a little bit stuck in areas like. And it's in the mind, he's saying. It's in your mind that you're stuck, because it actually isn't in what's taken place, but the way your mind has become stuck. It's like you're only seeing some sort of limited perspective of moving, of you growing or seeing certain situations. It's like you're only seeing one little part of it. And he's saying expand those horizons, broaden your mind, but expand the mind into spirit, like in all directions. And he, as I do that, as I say that, because it's like I get a sense of it, he's like, thank you. Yes, and he shows me that you do it, and you have done that as well. Feels very spiritually connected. Feels like you've got a lot of gifts as well. But it's like you switch from one place to another place, very limited perspective into a very expanded perspective. And he's wanting you to see the expanded perspective that you have and the reach that you have. And don't be limited. And he comes back to the heart. He comes back to the heart space, and he's like, don't be limited in your heart in this way. Allow that expansion out, because you affect a lot of people when you are in this expanded place. And if you're not in this expanded place of your abilities, your light, essentially, your light and your heart, when you're not in that place, people meet you and see you, and it's like they come into the, they show me like they come into the room with you and they're looking around. Was I supposed to meet someone here? They see you, but they're like, no, I don't think it was that person. Or it's like they have this feeling of what they're coming to meet, but then you're not showing up in some way, or you're limiting something. So it's like, allow, when the people come to you, allow your heart to be there in the space with them. Open that heart. Offer what you have, because they're coming to you. But you don't want them to arrive and them to be like, oh, I think I'm in the wrong place. I better go somewhere else. Meet the joining, meet the connection. Essentially, offering yourself is connecting to others, which is connecting to yourself. It's like this cycle of life, this cycle of the circle of energy exchange. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave him with you, this lovely man with his watch that he's, tapping on. And I look forward to, hearing more about your expanded energy. I don't know why I say that, because I feel as though I'm going to. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave it here for today's messages and head on over to Patreon to give some more messages to the community. And if you've resonated with what's been shared, please don't hesitate to pop a comment below, and also reflect on if any of these messages were for you. I'd love to hear from you. But I hope you're all well, and I will see you again very soon. Raven Scry signing off.